Hey guys, this is Professor Tiffany Martin with Medical Microbiology, and we are working our way through Chapter 16, Adaptive Immunity, and we are at the very end, so hang in there. Let's do the last little part. It's easy. So let's talk about the types of immunity. So we've talked about cells, and we've talked about antibodies and how they function. We talked about different classes and how they switch back and forth and what each class can do. So now let's look at immunity from a larger kind of step back classification. And we can classify immunity in several different ways. We can talk about naturally versus artificially acquired immunity, and we can also categorize it as active immunity or passive immunity. So let me go to the picture because it really makes sense with this next picture. So I can classify immunity as naturally acquired or artificially acquired. The difference between these two categories, natural or artificial, is if I come in contact with the pathogen due to everyday activities. That's naturally acquired. If I come in contact with the pathogen and have an immune response due to artificial exposure to the pathogen, that's artificially acquired. What would be artificial acquired? Medical intervention. So a shot, the vaccine, that's how that happens. So naturally acquired is everyday activities. Artificially acquired is medical intervention. Now, is the immunity active or passive? Active means my body made the antibodies. Passive means the antibodies were made by someone else and given to me. Okay, so active, I made the antibodies. Passive, somebody else made the antibodies and they were given to me. So we can make a chart and put these into different categories. So if I have naturally acquired active immunity, I came in contact with a pathogen. My body, I may or may not have gotten sick, but my body made antibodies. That's naturally acquired active immunity. Naturally acquired passive immunity is an example of that is a mother breastfeeding her child. So the mom came in contact with a pathogen, the mom made the antibodies, and then they were passed to the baby by natural means, so naturally acquired, but the baby didn't make the antibodies. So the baby has naturally acquired passive immunity. The baby has antibodies in her system, but they weren't made by her. They were acquired naturally because they were by everyday activities, a mother nursing her baby. And those, if you remember, are the IgA antibodies, maybe IgG, and then a lot of IgA as well that get passed in breast milk. Okay, so artificially acquired active immunity. Artificially acquired, so medical intervention. I came in contact with the pathogen due to medical intervention, but my body made the antibodies. These are our vaccines. So medical intervention is how I acquired contact with the pathogen, but then it's my body that made the antibodies. Versus artificially acquired passive immunity. So this would be you may have come in contact with maybe a snake bite or a toxin or something, and you are going to get sick very fast. Your body is not going to have enough time to make those antibodies. Remember, checks and balances. It's going to take a little bit. Meanwhile, that toxin or that venom from a snake bite could be dangerous to you. In this case, the medical professional can give you antibodies that were made by either people or by animals that are targeted against that venom, snake bite, or toxin. This would be artificially acquired medical intervention and passive. You're getting the antibodies made by someone else. Okay, so that is it for this chapter. This is a tough one. Stay strong. These concepts, you've got to talk them out. I cannot emphasize that enough. You've got to talk out some of these concepts, write them out, draw them out, whatever you need to do to figure it out. On Zoom, come talk to us on Zoom and ask me questions, email me questions, work with your study groups, and you'll get this. I know it's a big topic, but it's worth it. So put in the time. Thanks so much.